Good morning, students. Good
Good
morning,
morning, ma'am.
Jason, Mary, yeah, Shuja. Yeah, these are the only students who respond immediately. I'm really happy for you guys. Satvik, thank you. Samrud, good morning. Ketan, good morning. Yeah, all right. Lucky, Anugna, Avin Vas, Chintisa, Anaga, Vaishnavi, Suhag, Satvik, Jerin, Vigna Shetty, Ovin, Rian Isaac, yeah, Ajit Shetty, DSA, Rian, Lisa Rihan, okay, Vanessa, Adit, Rabil, Glenn, Edita, Aidun, Anusha, Nityananda Shetty, okay. Is it for attendance or you are really wishing? Okay, just on a lighter note, it's okay. Just few seconds more, 49 are present out of 61. I don't know what is the problem with the remaining 10. All right, I think we should start. Okay, we'll start, students, today's session. So today is 18th lecture. By the end of this class, you will be able to sketch the symbols of enhancement and depletion type of MOSFET. And you'll also be able to describe the construction and operating characteristics of MOSFET. Okay, so today we are discussing MOSFET, metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. Okay, if you recall, I had given this classification earlier. So FETs are classified into JFETs and MOSFETs, where MOSFETs are again further classified into enhancement type and depletion type. One second. So in both the cases, again, you have both N channel and P channel type of MOSFETs. Okay. So here, um, 1 minute. Okay. So if you observe there, uh, let me stop the sharing of this, and before diving into the topic, let me show you some. Okay, I have to stop sharing this and share a window where I have. Okay, can you see this YouTube screen there? Are you able to see YouTube screen? Oh, please don't chat. I'm in a different tab. I'll not be able to. Let me check. What was that? What did you say? Can anyone unmute and speak? No, no. Okay, okay. Um, it is not the same tab. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Maybe. Oh, is it not showing that? Oh, I'm sorry, just a minute. Um, oh, okay, are you able to see the screen? Can anyone unmute and speak? Okay, that I have to share.
No, ma'am.
1 second. I'm sorry, something went wrong. It was in different tab and yeah. Are you able to see now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, voice is not clear. Audio.
No, voice is not there. Huh? But you are able to see the screen, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, were you able to go through that construction part? You had that subtitles visible there, right? Were you able to check the construction part? Yes or no?
Ma'am, not much like understood on the
Not
video.
much clear, but you were able to, okay. Let me check with the volume and all in the next sessions whenever I'm using videos. This was my first trial, in fact. running a video directly live. Okay. Okay, fine. Yeah, I just wanted to give you a glimpse of the construction part of the MOSFET. Uh, Anyways, I will explain. But hoping that you have got some idea the construction part. Anyone can acknowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you so much. So this is the basic structure of N-channel D MOSFET. Observe there is a when you say N-channel D MOSFET, D stands for depletion type. As I mentioned earlier, MOSFETs are two types, enhancement type and depletion type. D stands for depletion, okay? And N-channel means that is where via through, you say there is a current flowing through, okay? The channel is the one where you have the current flow happening. So in N-channel D-type MOSFET, you have P substrate, okay? Observe here, there is a P substrate on which there will be highly doped N-type material diffused, okay? And there will be a channel formed, okay? In between these two N wells. These two are called N wells, highly doped N wells, which will be diffused or embedded inside the P substrate, okay? And as you observe in the construction, there are metal contacts, okay? This dark color, the black color indicates the metal contacts, which provide the contact to the leads, okay? There are 3 leads and one more, as you can observe, which is substrate. Okay, so one lead is connected to the substrate, which is termed as SS, right? And the other leads with the contacts, metal contacts here, the leads are drain, gate, and source. All right. So you observe this white layer, which is a silicon dioxide semiconductor, dielectric material or a insulating material. Okay. So this insulates these leads in a sense, like there is no, because of these silicon dioxide, there is no direct electrical contact between these leads and the substrate or the semiconductor material. Are you with me so far? I'll repeat. The construction is there will be P substrate, P-type semiconductor material substrate, all right, on which highly doped N-type material will be embedded with the channel there, with the connection between this N well and this one, this N well, there is a connection which forms the channel, all right? So this, remember that it is a highly doped N-type material inside, which is embedded inside the P-type material. P substrate, we call it as P substrate. And there are, in fact, actually 3 terminals, but one more terminal which is connected to the substrate. We call that as SS substrate. Generally, in most of the cases, this S substrate will be tied up with the source. Okay, these two will be shorted always. So forming a 3-terminal. MOSFET also is a 3-terminal device. But some textbooks or some devices with a symbol, this substrate will be separately indicated, showing a 4-terminal MOSFET. But the operation will be same. Okay. So these there are metal contacts which are connected or providing the 3 different leads: drain, gate, and source. So between these metal contacts and the material, semiconductor material, there is a insulating layer, very thin insulating layer made of silicon dioxide. So this actually forms as an insulator, which means it doesn't provide any direct electrical connection between the leads and the semiconductor material. Okay. So why is that? You will understand as we go on with the working and the operation. Why is it used and what is its significance and all. Okay. So metal oxide semiconductor FET, MOSFET. The name gets the name MOSFET because of the metal available here, which provides the leads drain, source, and gate. Okay. Oxide because of this insulating material, silicon dioxide. Okay. And S is nothing but the semiconductor material that is used for the device construction, including the substrate and the N wells that are embedded inside. That is P-N type semiconductor material. And it is a field effect transistor, right? So observe here, I want you to note down the construction quickly and the symbols, which is following the next slide. Let me know when you're done. I hope all of you are maintaining a separate notebook for the subject.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Sometime in between, I might ask you to scan your notes and upload. So okay, yeah, fine. So, so this gate terminal, especially the gate terminal, is connected to the metal contact, but it, as I said, it remains insulated from the N channel there because of the presence of silicon dioxide. So this silicon dioxide is nothing but insulator referred to as dielectric. Okay. So the property of dielectric is that it opposes the electric field whenever it is exposed to externally applied field there. Okay. So because of this, MOSFET also gets another name where it is also called as insulated gate FET, IGFET, because of the insulator available there. MOSFET is also termed as insulated gate FET, that is IGFET. All right, whenever, if you get any other terminology other than MOSFET, if IG, if it is used, then you should not get confused. That is the meaning. All right. And MOSFET is a active device. What do you mean by that? In electrical components, you have active and passive devices, right? What do you mean by active device? Okay, let me give example for passive devices. Okay, I'm getting some answers. Yes? Did anyone speak?
With supply energy.
Which supply energy? All right. Okay. Any other answer? That is also correct.
The direction of current.
You're almost close to the answer, Kate. Thank you. So let me give you an example of passive device. Okay. PN junction, capacitors, transformers, all these are passive devices. And okay, the active devices are BJT, JFET, and MOSFET. So what is that comparison you can get there? JFET, MOSFET, BJTs, all these are active devices, examples of active devices. What comparison?
There is like this energy produced or current flow in active devices.
Yeah, you're getting closer to the answer. See, BJT, JFET, and MOSFET, there we can control the current, isn't it? So deliver or produce energy, active device, utilize or store. Okay, fine. Yes. Okay, you're going with the typical definitions. Fine. Yeah, number of flow of electrons in passive devices. No flow of electrons. Bhumika. Yeah, that is the meaning. In active devices, see, any type of electronic circuit component which has the ability to control the flow of electrons, or in other ways, flow of current, is nothing but active device. So as I said, BJTs, JFET, and MOSFET, all these can control the flow of current, right? So if we saw in the previous discussion with JFET also, there JFET also was able to control the current, output current. What is the output current in FETs? What is the output current in?
Drain characteristic curve, right?
What is the output parameter? Means it is just say voltage or current. What is the output parameter in the devices? What we are discussing? Okay. It's not wrong that drain characteristics. Okay, in drain characteristics, what is the dependent variable? So that is the output, right? What is the dependent variable you were talking about there in drain characteristics? Voltage. Oh, dependent variable. What is dependent variable? I had mentioned to you in the other classes, in this other session. Dependent and independent. Current. What current? Current, Adarsh. What current?
Drain current.
Correct. Isn't it? Drain current. Yeah, correct. Drain current is your output, isn't it? Okay. So drain, okay, fine. Drain current, whether it is dependent variable or independent variable.
Dependent.
Dependent, isn't it? Yeah. Whenever you plot a graph, okay, when you plot a graph in x-axis, you will always plot the independent variable. That is how you plot, isn't it? When you're varying a independent variable, how is the dependent variable getting affected with respect to the variable in the x-axis? That is what you're plotting, isn't it? So drain characteristics, again, if you recall, we had VDS in the x-axis. Okay, by varying VDS, how the drain current was changing. That is what we were plotting there. So that gave us the drain characteristics. Okay, the drain current. Okay, coming back here, Please remember all these basics. So in MOSFET as well, the output is your drain current. All right, drain current. So now let us observe how is the working of the. Okay, this is a typical graphical or symbolic representation of N channel and P channel depletion type MOSFET. Observe that some will indicate like this with a separate substrate terminal. Okay, and observe the direction of the arrow also. For N channel, it will be always inside. The direction of the arrow will be inside, and for P channel, it will be away from. Okay, going out direction. And as I mentioned, typically substrate and source terminal will be always tied together. So both these type of symbols both are valid. Okay, showing separate substrate or substrate with tied with source. So generally this is the symbolic representation used indicating the three terminal device: drain, source, and gate. So this is a N channel depletion type MOSFET, symbol for D type MOSFET, N channel D MOSFET. Please note down. We'll go for the working and the operation. Okay. So here again, as we know, the biasing has to be done in order to make the device conducting, right? So how do we do that? We provide the external supply, that is VDD, will be applied between the drain and the source terminal. So as you can observe here, the substrate and source both are tied. Okay, the VDD is excuse me, applied between drain and source. All right, and the gate terminal and source are both tied here, considering the case number 1 there, where zero potential is applied to gate. Okay, so please note the gate and source, the voltage applied between gate and source is 0 volts. Now you know that in FET, the output voltage, the drain current, what we are talking about, the output voltage, the drain current is controlled by VGS. That's why FETs are voltage control device. Recall the things. Voltage control device. By varying the voltage applied across gate and source, the output current drain can be controlled, right? Okay. So what happens? Observe here. When gate is maintained at 0 potential, right? When gate terminal is maintained at 0 potential and VDS is applied between the drain and the source, all right? So that means positive terminal of the battery is connected to drain, which is the N-type material here, right? So when you are varying VDD or VDS, what happens? The N-type, the lead at the N-type material, that is drain, is positive, right? There is positive potential compared to the gate terminal, all right? So the electron, majority carriers in the N-type material, the electrons get attracted, right? So there is flow of electrons towards the drain terminal. Observe, there is flow of electrons towards the drain terminal, okay? So we know that whenever there is flow of electrons in one direction, the opposite direction, we call it as the conventional current flow, right? So the current, the drain current flows from drain to source. So from the circuit, you observe that the drain current ID will be equal to IS, okay, which is nothing but our IDSS, the maximum or the saturated drain current. Are you with me so far? Okay. So similar to the previous discussion what we had, and as we are varying VDD or VDS, when the drain terminal is made more positive, okay, as you go on increasing, so the electrons are getting attracted and they move towards the drain terminal. causing eventually increasing the drain current. Okay, eventually increasing the drain current, which flows via drain towards source. All right, so we say that the drain current ID will be equal to IS. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, similar to the previous discussion, what we had, if we make VGS negative, assume that the potential applied across the gate terminal is negative. So what happens? The electrons in the channel here, the N-type material, N-type material, the electrons in the N-type material, they get repelled. Okay, if you are making gate terminal negative, the electrons get repelled. All right, and the holes from the P substrate get attracted. All right, what happens? The holes are getting attracted towards the gate, and the electrons in the N region are getting repelled. So because of this, there is recombination taking place. So due to this recombination, what happens? The number of electrons in this N channel reduces. So if the number of electrons in the N channel reduces, means what? Eventually it is decreasing the drain current, isn't it? Okay, someone is chatting. Increasing the resistance and reduce the drain current. Correct, exactly, Adarsh, correct. Okay, so similar to the discussion what we had. So as you go on increasing the negative potential that is applied across the gate, all right, the drain current goes on decreasing, right? So there might be a condition, or it reaches to a condition where the VGS, as you make more negative and negative, it will reach a pinch off condition again. All right. So when VGS is made more negative with the pinch off condition, there should be a saturated or constant drain current that would be flowing from drain to source. All right. So it is, yeah. So to get the characteristics, or to understand and to plot the characteristics, okay, to plot the characteristics, what should we do? We should conduct experiment, isn't it? We conduct experiment using the circuit where you have the MOSFET, all right, drain, source, and gate terminals. Across drain and source, you connect your the biasing voltage VDD or VDS. You can also call it as VDS, all right. And via the RD, that is the drain resistance, that will be connected in series, all right. And at the input, you have to provide a biasing voltage between gate and source, right? So this is another supply, say VGS. So how do you conduct this experiment? You need to note down what is the VGS maintained and what is that VDS applied and how is the drain current varying. So you need 2 voltmeters, right? So this voltmeter is to record VGS or VG. You can take it out VG also, no problem. And you want to record VDS. You want to note down what is your VDS you are varying, all right? And with respect to that, how is the drain current changing? So that you want to measure. So you connect one ammeter in series. So voltmeters will be always connected in parallel, okay? They can be just held using a multimeter here across or in a parallel connection. But ammeter should be always connected in series, all right? Keep that in mind. So when you do that, how will you note down all the recordings there? Say you vary VDD, so you maintain VDS to some value, okay? So to do that, first you will keep VGS in some level, isn't it? Say starting from 0, you'll go to -1, -2, -3, something like that. So you'll keep VGS constant, right? And you go on varying VDS. So go on varying VDS. So for the different values of VDS, note down drain current. Are you getting my point? Okay. So that is how you will have, say, the tabular column where you have VDS and ID. For different value of VDS, you will note down corresponding ID. Can you visualize the things? For say constant VGS. So if you plot like that, you will get the characteristics which we call it as drain characteristics. I'm just giving you a glimpse of how you get this drain characteristics. Okay. In fact, yeah, electronic students, you will have experiment in the third semester when you come to the department. All right. In third semester, you have all these experiments to conduct. So when you say you have all the readings and you are plotting, this is what the characteristics you will get. In x-axis, you have VDS, and in y-axis, you have drain current. Okay, observe that keeping VGS is equal to 0 volts. So the current varied similar to the characteristics what we had in JFET, right? So initially, the drain current will increase along with VDS. So after some time, the resistance in the channel increases, right? Because of the recombination taking place and all, there is less number of electrons, so resistance increase. So after some point, which we call it as VP, there will be constant or saturated drain current. Similarly, as you increase the reverse voltage applied across VGS, so -1, so this is the characteristic, okay? For VGS is equal to -2, you have this characteristics. Observe that the drain current level is decreasing. The drain current level is decreasing. When VGS is equal to 0 volts, this was the maximum drain current, the saturated drain current, IDSS. When VGS you made more negative, the level of the saturated drain current dropped, right? It came to this level, all right? When VGS is equal to -2, when you made gate terminal more negative, the saturated drain current level dropped further, okay? And as you make VGS more negative and negative, the drain current level is also decreasing, okay? At some point, when VGS is equal to VP, right? You know what is a VP condition now? VP is nothing but pinch off condition, right? When there is a pinch off taking place in the channel, all those things you have to visualize. So if VGS is say reached to a level where pinch off is achieved earlier for lower values of VDS itself, then there is no drain current at all. So that we call it as cutoff condition. When VGS is equal to VP, there is no drain current. All right. So observe that VGS value should be more negative, isn't it? So that is when you say VGS equal to VP, when there is 0 drain current, right? Now, there is one difference here in the MOSFET characteristics. Observe that if VGS is made positive, if VGS, that is the voltage applied across gate and source, if it is positive, what happens? Gate is made positive. What happens?
Electrons will be more attracted to gate, so as not to get drained.
Okay, if gate is made more positive, how is electrons attracted to drain?
because the holes will be because the holes will be repelled from the gate. So then, so that and the electrons will get attracted to drain, right?
Electrons are getting attracted to gate. From where? This is the channel. Here is your drain lead. Here is your source lead. If you make, someone's typing, let me see. Electrons get accumulated at gate. Very good. That is correct, Kate. Electrons get accumulated here in the channel, not at the gate. in the channel, when you make gate terminal more positive, what happens? The minority charge carriers in the P substrate are also pulled inside the channel. Are you getting me? Now look at the construction there. When you make gate positive, the minority charge carriers from the P type are also pulled towards the channel, increasing the concentration of electrons in the channel here, which is N type, right? So eventually increasing the concentration of electrons means what? Obviously, it will increase the drain current as well. Are you getting the point? Is that clear?
Ma'am, can you repeat?
I'll repeat. When you make gate terminal positive, that is when the voltage applied across gate and source is positive, okay? Now, the minority charge carriers in the P substrate. Minority charge carriers in the P substrates are electrons, right? So these electrons here, they get attracted into the channel. Channel is nothing but the N-type material, right? So majority of the N-type material is already electrons, okay? Making G more positive, more electrons will be attracted towards the channel, increasing the concentration of the electrons inside the channel. If the concentration of the electrons in the channel is increased, eventually it results in increase in the drain current. More electrons positive, the level of drain current will be quite significantly more when VGS is made positive. Okay, so if you further increase, say for example, VGS is equal to say plus 2 volts, maybe the level would have been somewhere here. Okay, so typically the positive voltage applied across gate also should be cautiously taken into consideration, because the drain current would eventually there will be significant increase in the drain current. Okay, so the data sheets will provide the maximum power dissipation that is allowed, or the maximum current limitation. Okay, that is about the device. All these specifications will be mentioned in the data sheets. So looking at the level or the power of the device, care should be taken that it doesn't cross the limit. Otherwise, it would fuse off or damage the device there. All right. So that gives you one homework question. All right. Just think about why in JFET VGS was not applied with positive voltage. All right. Why we didn't discuss anything about applying VGS, a positive potential at VGS, across VGS in JFET condition. Okay, think about that and tell me in the next class. All right. So I'll quickly explain you the plotting of the transfer characteristics here, which is similarly applicable to the JFET as well. So look at this. Transfer characteristic means we know the plot that we plot, that is output with respect to input, isn't it? So as I said, our output is your drain current, all right? And input is, what is your input? What is the controlling parameter?
VGS.
VGS, correct, exactly correct. VGS is your input. So when you plot transfer characteristics, you will always plot input versus output, right? Is it input or versus output, or output versus input? Which is correct? Which is depending on which? So is it output versus input or input versus output? How do you say that? Which is the right? Huh?
Input versus output.
Input out versus output. Okay. All right. So in x-axis, it will be VGS. In x-axis, it will be VGS, and in y-axis, which is a dependent variable, it will be drain current. So using the drain characteristics, you can always plot the transfer characteristic. Okay. So observe here, there is a simple graphical method here. When you have these drain characteristics, okay, all these different plots are for different levels of VGS, right? Right. So what you can do, you can just plot a horizontal line across different levels of VGS, all right, and intersect to the x-axis. So wherever there is intersection, that point will be your point of VGS. Are you getting me? Say, for example, I will say VGS is equal to 0, right? So I will extend this line towards left, extend this line towards X, okay? And if I intersect to the y-axis, so this will be my VGS is equal to 0, this point. Are you getting me? Are you getting my point? Okay, let me give you another instance. When VGS is equal to -1, right? So I'll extend this line. So here in the graph, it is shown as here, the line is here. So extend this horizontal line towards left, all right? Okay, so this would be the point of, this is the point of, say, drain current. If I intersect to the x-axis, so this x-axis, it will be my VGS. Are you getting? Are you getting my point or not? Hello?
Can you tell me again?
Okay. So using graphical method, one way of plotting the transfer characteristics is using your graphical method, that is using your drain characteristics. Now say you have conducted this experiment, you have all the readings and you have plotted the graph. So as you vary VDS, you have got drain current and for different levels of VGS, right? So in transfer characteristics, as we know, in x-axis, it should be VGS and in y-axis, it should be the drain current, right? So how do I get these points here? It is nothing but extend the line, the different graph what you have, the different plot what you have, extend towards the left, drawing a horizontal line, all right? When you draw the horizontal line, so this is your x-axis, okay? So the point here is your drain current, but the intersection here in the x-axis will be your VGS value. In other words to say, when VGS is 0 here, 8 milliamps is the drain current. Got it? Let me go to another example. When VGS is -1, so this is the plot. So in the graph, it is shown the horizontal line is here. Extend the horizontal line towards left, okay? So this horizontal line, you will get the value of drain current, isn't it? So if you bring that to the x-axis, that x-axis value is nothing but your VGS. Say VGS is equal to -1. So here it is not clearly aligned here, all right? So maybe this is taken as -2 here. Yeah, this line is taken as -2. Observe that it is neither -1, -2. It is somewhere in between. But this line is shown for, here it is showing for -2. Okay, let us take this one for -2. The line VGS is equal to -2. Okay, if I extend this, so I'll get a point here. Okay, so the intersection point in the x-axis will give me the VGS value. So VGS -2, if this horizontal line, I already have the point here, which is nothing but my drain current. So say 4 milliamps. This is the point. This is one method. Another method is directly taking from the Shockley equation for JFET. All right. So I would like you to go through plotting the transfer characteristics for JFET using Shockley, both using Shockley equation. That is, what is the equation there in JFET? ID is equal to
IDSS into 1 minus VGS by VP the whole square.
Right. So if you rearrange that equation, you can always get a right equation in terms of VGS, isn't it? So just rearranging the things there, taking square root on the right hand side and all. All right. So that also will give you VGS, that is the relation between VGS and ID. So which is nothing but for transfer characteristics, to plot the transfer characteristics, we need relation between input and output. So there are two methods, as I mentioned, one graphical method, okay, taking from the drain characteristic, the other is using your Shockley equation for JFET, not for MOSFET, all right? So I wanted to give you some example problems here, but since we are running short of time, we'll stop here. Let me share the material, you can go through that, all right? And in the next class, we will continue with the enhancement type of MOSFET.